we were partiers, we were deplorable in a literal sense. We were degenerates is the word I was looking for. And then we had kids and went, wow, these are cute. And I'm too old to do cocaine anymore. Why did I wait so long?
Never.
Trust me, dude. Hang on. You're about to get hangovers that make AIDS feel like Disneyland. You're about to get hangovers where they're interesting. You're like, wow, I'm experiencing the most pain a human's ever felt. I'm dying. My molecules are falling off of my bones. And then we start looking into it and we go, wow, there was some real merit to traditionalism. All this stuff we threw out. Like I was talking to a turkey farmer yesterday, of all people. It's very important to talk to a lot of different people. Charles Murray predicted this in Coming Apart. He said, you got to get out there. I talk to rich people, poor people. You got to fraternize. You got to have speeches. You can't shut down conversation. Talk to the cab driver. A cab driver on the way here was talking to his wife the whole time. We missed out on a whole great conversation. We want community. So I'm talking to this turkey farmer, and she says, you know, when I was a girl and I needed money, my dad would go, oh, you need money? Okay, cool. So he would go to the local market, whatever, and he'd start asking around. He'd find some old lady who needed her living room painted and was willing to pay, you know, modern equivalent of $20. And so she would go and she would paint that woman's living room after her dad told her how to do it and showed her, like, here's a sponge, you got to wash the wall first, which I don't really agree with. Aren't you just covering it in paint? There's a thumbprint under the paint. Who cares? It's a curtain. Now, she would talk to that old lady as she was painting that wall. And she would get to know her. And that old lady would tell her about, you know, Boston Street, how it was 100 years ago. She could tell her about this club. Oh, this club's from 1930. Incredible time for New York. You know, we were between the wars. We had the Empire State Building and the Great Depression, and the Chrysler Building bought under budget in a year and a half. It was a very exciting, vibrant time for New York City. Then the war hit. New York State lost 500,000 people. Oh, that's interesting, old lady. Can you leave me alone now while I try to fucking paint? What a chatterbox. Then you'd get that money, and then you'd go spend it at the local, I don't know what these old people did when they were young. Didn't they go to drive-in food places where some lady would come out with roller skates? What a weird history you boomers have. All right, everyone's ready? It's Friday. Let's eat a hamburger in our car. Served to us by roller skate ladies. But whatever, they did what they did. And that money stayed in the community. Now we have this sort of transient culture where we don't know who's mowing our lawn, and they get the money and then they send it back with Western Union. And every time, just like that story where she was painting the old lady's living room, it was building the fabric of a society. And when we do the opposite and we just have strangers do all our odd jobs, we rip apart that society. And that's what's happening. We're tearing apart the fabric of society so much that you can make up lies and straw men and go, there's actually a Nazi from the Klan doing a talk tonight in New York. What? Yeah, he wants genocide. He wants to kill disabled kids. How? Wouldn't the parents object to that? Hey, man, it's genocide. And if the left can shut down discussion, they can shut down the narrative, they can control the narrative, and they gain power. And I've always said that's what political correctness is. It's someone telling you how to talk. Oh, it's not black now, it's person of color. Oh, it's not person of color, it's African American. Black people don't even know this. Like, no one told us. I've been saying black. Oh, you got to check in with your boss. You're not allowed to call yourself that anymore. Now you're an African American person of color. Is there an acronym for that? Because that sounds kind of long. Yeah, ABLPC. So, I think we're at a point now in America where people who have normal dad beliefs, like me, like you, can be twisted into having some sinister agenda that's apocalyptic and evil and must be stopped with violence. And that is a socialist mentality. That is a communist mentality. I don't want you to talk to that person. I want to dehumanize that person so you can kill them and you just killed a piece of garbage. You know, at Mike Cernovich's last thing, there was this guy who was leaving, Jewish guy, kind of classical liberal, Dave Rubin type of dude. And the police go, you got to wait for a car and we'll take you out. And he goes, what? I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not a Nazi. So he goes, I'm just going to walk down the street. So he walks down the street. Antifa, excuse me! You're a lawyer, for Christ's sakes. Pretend it's a court of law, you dunce. You were there? Oh, really? By the way, I love how it's advocating violence if you clap when a guy punches a guy who was murdering an old man. She should have just sat there and took it, like Jesus Christ. But he punched that guy. They had a heart attack, and then the Antifa dude put the cops in a headlock. Like the cop's gonna go, all right, all right. God, I didn't know you were that mad. Tap out, tap out. That kid could be facing 16 years. But the rhetoric and the lack of free speech and lack of discussion dehumanizes people until they don't think they're killing some old dude who is leaving a thing. They think they're killing Hitler as a baby in his crib. And there's definitely an argument for Hitler as a baby in his crib, but that's not Hitler. And I've talked to these people and I said, can I get you on my show or can we discuss this? I don't understand. I don't even know what the fuck you want. And they go, sorry, genocide doesn't deserve a debate. I'm not Pol Pot. I bet even with Pol Pot, he would go, I'm going to be killing a lot of people. And his side guys were like, are you out of your fucking mind? You're going to start killing everyone? Like, I bet even the people surrounding Stalin and Mao and Hitler and Pol Pot and all these genocidal maniacs, I bet some of them are going, wait, you're serious? And by the way, they were all socialists.